Hello guys, today I will talk about the geofence fleet tracking with N8N. Previously I mentioned that N8N is a completely free open source platform that connects all these stacks of software or applications all together. If you want to host it online or on a cloud, then it costs you a little bit, but if you're locally hosting on your computer, so it's completely free. Google Sheets, of course, is free, and Shortcuts, that's basically a default application on all of your iPhones after iOS 13. So let's get to the demonstration for this first. And the first demo is with iPhone. So I went out there, as you can see here, me moving. So as soon as you're getting into the geofence radius, then the automation or notification of shortcuts that you pre-configured, it's already gets activated. And the radius of this geofence zone cannot get lower than 328 feet. As soon as you're getting out, it takes a while depending on the reception in the area. And then again, the automation gets activated. All of these time stamps and everything gets logged in a Google Sheet. The check-in, check-out. So it's pretty cool and very easy tool for your fleet, for crew. The second demo is with MacBook. I took my computer to show everything at the same time. So you can see the log here, the check-in, check-out, computer clock out there. So you can see that everything gets logged. So that's the geofence location that you can see the is moving, that blue dot. And those are two shortcuts on your phone, which is the check-in and check-out at the top right. So basically you're manually, you can also tap them too. And that's the manual tap test. And you can see at the bottom, it gets logged, Henry checkout, January 30th, 2025, and the timing. And also the geofence, as soon as you're getting out, it gets logged. And the whole thing is being built simply with N8N. If you're interested how I built it, or it's something valuable for your organization, please follow along. Thank you. And we can work on it together to create some cool automation tools. All right, let's talk a little bit about the backend of the demo. It's pretty simple from the backend perspective. However, it's very effective if you're dealing with hundreds of employees in different job sites and different locations. So if the driver has the phone with himself, then you know exactly that equipment is at what job site. So that's pretty much the good use case for this. And N8N is a German platform and open source software. It's completely open source, it's free. If you're using their own cloud services, then it is a little cost, like $20 a month. But if you're self-hosting it locally on your machine, it's completely free. The Anchor for my cloud. And let's get back to this backend. So it's basically the geofence sensor of your phone, because every phone, smartphone, they have like those gyroscopes, they have like all these sensors that most of the time that we're not using. So let's take advantage of all those sensors that we carry around with ourselves all the time. Okay, so create two shortcuts and two automations on your phone. So shortcuts are basically the default applications on your phones. And after iOS 13, I believe, the shortcuts, they came to the App Store, and it's completely free. It's default application on your phone. So let me delete this shortcut in here and redo it again. So here's the shortcut. And before creating another shortcut, these are already I created. So before doing that, so let's go through the layout of this. What stacks or what tools do we need? So first, those are the two shortcuts and two automations on your iPhone. The name of these applications on Android phone is called Tasker. Tasker is similar to shortcuts, that you can create all these little automations between apps or configurations on your phone. And configure these shortcuts with adding git contents URL. So when you're creating a new shortcut in here, and basically that new shortcut, you want to give it a title. Like, let's say, for example, I will do it check in without a dash to be different from that. So that's check in. And what type of action should this shortcut do for me? So basically it should get contents of URL. So basically what we're doing is creating a trigger. Once we create a trigger, so that we're making these integrations or APIs with n8n. And it requires here, what is your URL? So where do you want to get connected with? So let's double click on our webhook trigger. So if you click on it, and there you can see here there are two types of URLs. One is the test URL and the other one is the production URL. And you can see here the webhook -test. So if you're doing testing multiple times and you are on the n8n cloud services, so you should use the test URL, because that won't count towards your transaction, I believe. But if you're doing the production URL and you activate this, so that's basically like you toggle this button, so that's basically it counts towards your transactions. And here the method is post. So the method should be post on both sides, on here and on your shortcut. So you can see here that the same webhook is in here. So I put the same webhook on here as well. I guess this is not the correct one. Let me go. This is the check-in. Yeah. This one, the one that we were creating. Okay, so let's copy this. So that is copied and pasted in here. So this is our link. However, if you want to create, because you're not using it only for one person, so you want to have a unique ID, either from that device, you can grab the unique ID, or you create your own. So for example, to know, so that's basically make it dynamic. So question mark device ID equals to, for example, Jerry concrete mixer. So that Jerry is the driver for that concrete mixer, and we really want to track as soon as the mixer gets into the zone or the job site. So here we create the method post. Post is one of the most secure methods. And key and value. Like key is basically the headers in your Google Sheet, basically the name of the columns and the value of the column. So let's say the name of the column should match with your Google Sheet, and the value should be check in without dash. So we put everything in here, and let's show less. Let's try it and play it. So it requires some, it asks us to allow this. The workflow was started. Before that, I was talking about the transaction and API calls. So the test is, that should match in this URL as well. So once you get to the production, everything is connected, then you gotta get rid of this dash test term. All right, so you have a check-in, and now you wanna create another one in here, duplicate it. So that's basically because I'm syncing with my iPhone, so this is on Mac. You can create this on your iPhone as well. So duplicate this and then rename it to check out without dash, and you can see here that's the shortcut icon. So if you don't have it, go to an app store and you can find, you should look for this. So here, check out, edit, and in the edit mode, So here post is okay, direction, the key, change the key to out or log in, log out kind of situation. So enter it and start listen to this. And once you run it, all right, so the workflow was started. So you already created your shortcuts. So the shortcuts are there. Now let's get back to the N8N platform. So it got connected to your iPhone and it got triggered. And see the checkout without dash is in here. And Jerry Concrete Mixer is right here. So the device ID that you just created for it. It doesn't give you any value. You want to pinpoint which equipment or which driver is on in which site or location. The webhook. And now let's go to the Google Sheets. Okay, so employees geofence tracker. So we can use that, or we can use employee backup. So they have all employees, and let's go to the geofence tracker and all employees. And they're the columns in here that I created already. Let's go to backup. So these are the Google Sheets that you have the device ID, direction, date, and time. As you can see here, it's already populated John Concrete Truck. That was from previous. So this check-in, I just kind of did the conditional formatting for this based on the color. So that way you can distinguish it correctly. And all the timestamps in here, it gets populated as well. So the device ID, whatever you just got from that webhook. So this is the JSON code, and usually the schema is pretty good that you can drag and drop it, or you can write it. So here the device ID, Jerry Concrete Mixer, it should go to the device ID. Okay, so see it, everything is green, and the result is Jerry Concrete Mixer. And the direction, which was here, the checkout, that column. So drag it and drop it in here. The date is usually very important in it. Now is a JSON format, and it's a little bit, that is the shortcut for it. So the regular now, if you want to leave it like this, that would be the result. Date, time, it's 2025, 131 or whatever. But if you want to format it in a different format, there are different formats in here. So let's try this one in two formats, and let's say DD slash capital LL slash YY lowercase YY. So that's basically your date and time, but you're changing the format. Make it an expression to make it like a code. So the lowercase h is only the 12 hours, the 12-hour basis. The capital H is the 24 hours. That's the format like AM and PM. So if you want to do the lower or the capital H, that is the 24 hours. And then you don't need the A at the end. So we don't want it in here. Actually, we want the 24 hours. That will be much easier in future for us to deduct it in Excel or do some more on it. So that's basically your format for now. And the device ID. All right, so you can see the output in here. You got it from the hook, from the webhook, or from your computer, I mean iPhone. And then it got here to N8N. N8N pushed it to using your credentials from the Google Sheets API and pushed it to your Google Sheets. Yeah, so we refreshed it and everything got populated in here. So you can create these little memos or triggers for yourself, then you can send it to email. So if you don't want to do email and then you just want to know exactly where they are, then you can also add a note, and that's the Telegram node, and you can get a chat. So that's like another node that you can create it and get a chat. So you know, from my previous videos, you can see how to configure the Telegram nodes. So we don't want emails now, so deactivate it. So everything, the whole workflow is working. So if you want to parse more using the OpenAI, then you can connect the OpenAI message model or assistant for yourself to parse the data, whatever the data it gets from the Google Sheet or your trigger, then it gets passed through OpenAI, and you will manipulate that data and send it in a human-like conversations into either an email or a report format or to Telegram. So but that will cost you the API cost for the OpenAI models. Now there are other LLMs out there too that their API is much cheaper than the OpenAI, but the OpenAI, the 4.0 mini, is pretty cheap that you can use them. All right, so that is basically your workflow for this. If you like this and create this, you play around a little bit more in the Google Sheet. So you got all the data, it's kind of in a raw format, and then you can manipulate that. You can create like only one person payroll for it, and the check, like for example, check in, check out. So if there's no dash, so they already created a checkout, and based on your employees and the hours, like grand total for everybody. So you can play around with it more, and you can automate your payroll just by geofencing, getting in, getting out, so you don't have to do it manually. And this is the payroll. You can manipulate the data more, and that's pretty much it. One last thing that I wanted to mention about the shortcuts. Here on the Mac OS, it doesn't have the automation, but on your phone, it does. So I just created the phone version of it, and I screen recorded it. So after you did the check-in or check-out shortcuts, the same thing that we did in here, then so you're running it, right? So it's the same thing, but you can see here is the init in the cloud. So okay, that is run. Now you go to this automation here at the bottom middle. So afterward you click on automation and create more. So all right, so now you're going to automation and create a personal automation. So then here is the arrive and leave. So in the arrive section, it means like when you get to it's here it says home, but it's actually the location. So you're basically giving it a location. So choose your location, and I'm saying like, you know, location services, you can allow it. So if you don't allow it, it won't pick up your location. Or you can put a manual location, like for example 3100 California Street in San Francisco, for example. So that is basically your location, and the radius, it can get increased, but it cannot decrease lower than 328 feet. So that's basically your geofence. So it has to run if you're getting into that zone, and you're basically creating other geolocation for signing out or checking out from that zone. So one is check-in, the other one is check-out. A little bit of configuration on the phone side, and then how to connect these two together with the init platform. And that's pretty much it. Oh, the reason it didn't pick up because our check-in, the link is with the test. So we activated it, and that was the production link. So let's run it now. It should go Jerry. And Jerry should show up here. So here you can see Jerry mixer check-in without dash. So you can do the same thing on the checkout, edit it, and here the test, delete the test. So we're actually in production right now, and run it. So once you did the running, and see Jerry concrete mixer check out. And that is basically the configuration of these. So manual check-in, check-out, check-in, check-out, and also automatically as well. So it takes a while, but it's pretty fast. Like if your internet is fast, everything gets pretty fast, and it will be seamless. After you set up the whole system, it will be pretty seamless to work with. All right, that's pretty much it. That's the geofence fleet tracking system. And if you have any comments, any other automation suggestion, please put in the comments section here, and then I'll happy to make more content on it. Thank you very much. Have a good one.